Hi guys, so it has been a minute since I have done like a legit just sit down and story time video with you. I actually had a different plan for what I was gonna do today, but my morning was such chaos, and I realized it's been a really long time since I've sat down and done like a funny story time with you, and today was a doozy. So I figured this one would also be pretty relatable just because a lot of us deal with car line. If you haven't started dealing with car line yet, it is coming, sister, so get ready. And for the most part, I can't complain. Car line is really great. It's very smooth and sufficient at my kids' smooth and efficient. It's very smooth and efficient at my kids' preschool, but some days, like when it goes bad, it goes really bad. And today was one of those days. So let's get right into this story. Should we have the lights off for this? I feel like maybe, hang on. Okay, so about my day. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are actually under a flash flood watch right now, which means highly likely that we're gonna get some flooding. And today the rain has not let up. I woke up this morning knowing that we were gonna have a problem. Like it was just gonna be a nightmare trying to get the kids to school, but I figured I can do this. I can do hard things. I do hard things all the time. This is no different. So I get the kids up, and already like we're kind of on the struggle bus this morning, not because my kids weren't being great. They were in great moods. They were playing and laughing with each other, but it was like, I've used this word before, but it really was like a poop apocalypse in my house. And what I mean by that, it's not like there was like diarrhea happening to my children or anything, but both of them just kept going number 2. I've never seen anything like it. It was like Abby, I got her up, get her in a fresh diaper out of her crib, and she poops. So I changed that diaper, nice waisted diaper there, and like get her all dressed and everything, thinking, great, we got that poop out of the way, now we can get on with our day. A few minutes later, she poops again. Okay, it's not like I don't have other things I need to be doing here. Abby, can you please get it all out at once? As though she can control that. So I start dealing with her. I get her, I stop making their lunches. I go change her diaper again. We've got to be done, right? Well, about that time, Roman looks up from his book that he was reading and he says, I have to go poo-poo. I said, okay, help yourself. This is the one payout from potty training your children, is that now they can go to the bathroom by themselves. So I tell him to go, but of course today is the day that he needs me to come in there with him and keep him company while he poops. So I do that. I figure, why not? I go in there, we have a nice chat, he finishes his poop, and we get up, and again, I think we're moving on with our day. I start getting their lunches packed. It's pajama day at Roman school today, so I have to go find him some clean pajamas because he cannot go in the pajamas that he slept in, because this is my type A child. So I go get the clean pajamas, bring him downstairs, get him dressed, get Abby dressed, have the hair fight with Abby, which if you have little girls, you know, it's just they do not want their hair done. We got through that okay. And I'm at this point, like, because of just other things that I don't have enough time in this video to go into, we were just running pretty behind. And I'm looking at the clock going, I should note, the route from our house to my kids' preschool is 1-lane roads the entire way there, and it's a 30-minute drive. So the issue here is that if you have someone who is like not super comfy driving in the rain, you can get stuck behind someone doing 25 miles per hour the entire way, and there's never a dotted line where you can cross because it's like all zigzaggy and everything. You can never cross, so you just get trapped behind these cars. So I'm thinking worst case scenario here. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get stuck behind somebody who doesn't know how to drive in the rain. We're gonna be so late to school. Sometimes you get yelled at by the teachers, which I don't blame them. So I'm like really, really panicking, trying to get the kids out the door. Of course, a fight ensues over which toys they're gonna take in the car, because we're in a phase now where like they can take little toys that will fit in their cup holders, so like they can just put it there and know that it's there. I don't know if you're actually supposed to do that or not. Please don't come for me in the comments if you're not supposed to do that. You can just tell me nicely. But I've been doing that just because it makes them happy. They put it right in their little cup holder. Don't pick them up again. They just need to know they're there. Fine. We get the fight all taken care of. I get my kids in the car, and as I'm doing it, Roman announces that he has to poop. And we've been dealing with this problem lately where it's almost his way of just kind of like showing me who's boss, where I'll get him in the car and then he announces he has to go potty. And a lot of times we get back in the house and he doesn't actually have to go potty. So I stop and I give him the like, but do you though? Do you really? Because you've cried wolf a few times, bud, and we really gotta go. Like, we're running late and there's no way I'm keeping you home from school today. He says, no, I have to go poo-poo. So I get everybody out of the car, take them back inside. Roman sits down on the potty and nothing happens. And I'm still trying to weigh out here, like I don't want to give my child bathroom anxieties. I don't want to make him feel in a rush in the bathroom, but at the same time I'm like, do you actually have to go, or was this just your way of like, again, showing me who's in charge? So he sits there for a few minutes and I see him kind of straining. So I'm like, okay, so something's happening here. At least something's going on. But Roman puts his head in his hands, looking just like the thinker, you know, that statue. And he strains for a minute and then he lifts his head up and he says, Mommy, I'm sorry that I hit Abby yesterday. I said, oh, that's okay, bud. That's okay. That's all water under the bridge. All's forgiven. You want to work on that poop now? Mommy, I'm sorry that I screamed in the car yesterday. Oh, baby, you're forgiven. You said sorry yesterday. I said it's okay. We're all good. You want to finish that poop? And this child decided that this was the moment that he needed to like unburden himself of all of his transgressions. And I'm just like, first of all, it's breaking my heart in a way, because I'm like, why was all of this on your chest that you felt you needed to just like unload it? I mean, we're a very, very apologetic and forgiving family. I think there's something that was instilled in me from a very young age of just like, you say I'm sorry quickly and you forgive quickly. And so we do. So I'm just like, where is this coming from that you feel you don't have forgiveness from me? I haven't brought any of this stuff up. Like, so my heart's breaking. And on the other hand, I'm kind of like, my child, I am not Jesus and I am not Santa, and I do not need a list of your transgressions today. What do you want me to do? So I finally like go through this whole process with him and give him an explanation of why you don't have to keep saying I'm sorry once someone has given you forgiveness, and that's the beauty. I'm preaching the gospel to my son while he's sitting on the toilet, talking to him about how Jesus took away our sins, and with Jesus we don't have to apologize over and over because we're forgiven and you're forgiven and we are forgiven people, and could you please get off the toilet? I spilled my coffee. So we finally get through that, and thankfully we had a relatively event-free time getting back into the car. So we get in the car, we start driving. I do get stuck behind one of those drivers, and I'm just asking for patience in this moment. I'm like, I have to understand that let me backtrack. It is pouring rain to the point where I've got my windshield wipers on, like doing this, and the back windshield wipers. It's bad. Like, so I really can't in this moment be angry at someone for not wanting to drive the speed limit, but I'm just keeping it calm and collected. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there eventually. It's gonna be okay. If I get yelled at by the teachers, it'll be fine. We arrive at the school, and I had gotten a text actually prior to getting there that they were gonna be doing one car line rather than two, where the teachers come and get you out of two car lines. We're just gonna do one, and everyone's gonna pull up to the awning, which I thought was brilliant. So I get there and I'm like 3 cars back, and I'm kind of thinking we're gonna wait in this procession until I get up to the awning, which is a big cover, and that way my kids could just get right out of the car and go where there's a cover. But one thing I have left out is that none of the teachers have umbrellas. So they're all standing outside, some of them under the awning and some of them outside of the awning in like full parkas, like full rain gear. And I'm watching them like, why does no one have an umbrella? I don't understand. What world am I living in here? So like one of the teachers comes over to my car and I'm like, oh, so we're doing this now. I'm like 3 cars back, right? From the, oh, all right. So I get out, I pull my hood up because I put myself in a waterproof jacket today. I get myself out, I walk around to get my kids and I say to the teacher, I was like, I don't have them in their raincoats because I figured A, they'd be getting out at the awning, and B, that you would have an umbrella. And she explained to me, which absolutely makes sense. She's like, we can't have umbrellas because it's lightning. I was like, well, I am the ill-prepared mother who brought my kids one in his pajamas because it's pajama day at school, and the other one in just like a Mickey Mouse shirt and flimsy little pants and no rain protection whatsoever. So the teacher says, that's okay, I'm just gonna grab Abby and I'm gonna run. Okay, be my guest. So she takes Abby, she takes off running. I run around to the other side of my car to get Roman out, which as soon as I open the door, I discover that he has removed his shoes. So let me put my coffee down. It's about to get animated up in here. So I open the door and I'm immediately like, why did you take off your shoes? So I start frantically putting the shoes back on. The teacher runs back over to get Roman and I'm like, go to another car. Leave me, I'll do this. So I start putting the shoes on and she's like, no, just give him to me. Mind you, we're standing in the pouring down rain. Give him to me and I will put his shoes on when we get to the awning. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make much sense, but all right. So I grab him, I pull him out of the car. He is furious because he's about to be 4 and he needs to do everything by himself. And me pulling him out of the car seat was like a major violation for him. So I'm like, I'm sorry, sweetie, I'm sorry. And I hand him to the teacher. I grab his shoes, like basically throw them at her because she's already taking off running. Of course, a shoe drops. So I grab it and now I'm taking off running behind her to bring Roman's shoes. As she's running with my son, his pants start falling down because these are pajama pants. They're not designed for you to be like jostling around in them. So she's running with my bare-bummed child, exposing himself to everyone, and he has no shoes on. So when she gets to the awning, she is like gonna try to put him down so she can pull his pants up, but the boy has on no shoes. So now she's standing there holding out my half-naked baby. I'm chasing after her with his one shoe. Nobody knows where the other shoe is, and like everyone I think is just so stunned by my naked child that like nobody thinks to just pull his pants up kind of situation. So finally, we all like get his pants pulled up. We're still looking for the other shoe. Finally find it. And I don't even get to tell my son goodbye. They just run into the building. And I'm still standing there in the rain, completely flabbergasted about everything that has just happened. And I turned to like the school, like the preschool director, and I was like, I feel like I should explain myself. I thought that my kids were gonna be escorted in under the awning, and even if we couldn't be under the awning, I guess I just thought that some of you teachers were gonna come out with those giant lightning bolt catchers to hover over my children as you take them inside. I don't know why it didn't occur to me that you couldn't use an umbrella. I use umbrellas in the rain all the time. Sorry. And she's completely not interested in hearing my story. So I run back to my car and I take off and I look down at my pants and they are soaking wet. Like still they're pretty wet. So now my brand new car that I just purchased has got like giant water rings in my seat. I'm pretty sure my children are gonna be freezing at school today. And I'm just sitting here in the office completely flabbergasted, flummoxed, bothered by the way my morning went. And I think that's all I can say about it. It was a really frustrating morning. So I'm gonna conclude this video. I hope it made you laugh. I hope you could relate. If you have a similar story, leave it down in the comments. I am like a lurker of my own channel. I know that I don't always comment. I'm trying to be better about that, but I do read the comments. It's just usually I start reading and then something happens and I'm like, gotta go. But I do read the comments. I've been trying to be better about responding to them. So please leave me a funny story that you have about preschool drop-off or rainy days, just funny things that happen as a mom when we're trying to live in a world that doesn't always throw us the best circumstances. So with that said, I am going to go. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Love ya, mean it, always. Mwah. And I'll see you in the next one.